Hey guys, it's Shadow here. Sorry I've been gone so long. I have to be completely honest, this might be the most dangerous video I've posted yet. I discovered something about the Bloons universe, something so dangerous that if Ninja Kiwi finds out what I'm doing, they're gonna stop me from posting it. That is why I'm currently in a cave in New Mexico so they don't find me. That's why it's so echoey in here. Anyway, Ninja Kiwi wants you to believe that everything is fine in the Bloons universe, and they even had me fooled for a while. But look, nothing is as it seems, and the situation is more grim than you could imagine. Now, I know it sounds crazy. I know you might not believe me. In fact, I never would have suspected anything if it wasn't for this message that one of my contacts sent to me.
Shadow, I found something really dangerous. I don't really know what's going on, but you need to check it out. I think Adora...
Obviously, I was really confused after this. What was she talking about, and what did Adora have to do with it? I was intrigued enough that I decided to do some investigation, but that was a mistake, because I found some things I definitely was not supposed to see. But from the moment I found out what was going on, I knew I had to share it with you guys. Make sure to watch this to the end, because this might be my only chance to get the truth out before they silence me for good. Now, before I expose everything I discovered, I have to talk about the only other Bloons YouTuber who dared expose the darker side of the Bloons universe. In fact, this YouTuber's videos were the beginning of my research, since I remembered him talking about Adora and her brutal sacrifices. I'm talking about Ultra Jason, a Bloons YouTuber who seems normal at first. His videos are a bit weird, but a lot of Bloons YouTuber videos are weird, so that's not much to think about at first. However, if you look at the videos, you can see that he gets into some grim topics that other Bloons tubers don't even touch. In fact, these clips from some of his videos perfectly illustrate how brutal the Bloons universe really is.
There is a monkey inside the Inferno Ring. So, according to official Ninja Kiwi content, the idle animation for Tekken Battles 2, and the profile pic in the trophy store, canonically there is a monkey inside operating the tag shooter. How does Adora sacrifice monkeys exactly? So this question has been in the community for a long time. People made series about it. But all along, the truth was right there in front of us. In the name, blood, sacrifice. Notice how there's red on level 7 Adora's hands. For the Joan of Arc skin, she gains a dagger. It is pretty clear that the sacrificed monkeys were killed by none other than Adora herself, and in the case of base Adora skin, ripped apart by her bare hands and eaten.
So yeah, some monkeys are being sacrificed, and some of them are put in tag shooters. Imagine being put into a tag shooter, that would not be fun. But after seeing what Ultra Jason had found, I knew I had to find out as much as I could about the Bloons universe. So I looked through blog posts, snuck onto secret military bases, and did some other research methods that I'm definitely not allowed to discuss. When I put it all together, everything I found pointed to a disturbing truth, one that I'm finally exposing. So watch to the end and pay close attention, because you may only get the chance to listen once. There's a reason Ultra Jason hasn't been posting lately, and it's because Ninja Kiwi silenced him for revealing too much. I know I'll be next, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. The information hidden in Project Apollo is too dangerous to keep hidden. I have to expose it. At this point, I'm sure you think I'm crazy, and you would honestly be justified in thinking so. But there is a real threat to the monkey universe, and it's not the Bloons. In fact, it's the true sun god and the Paragons, and they hid right under our noses the entire time. Let me explain. The true sun god is definitely the strongest Bloon fighter in existence, but that power comes at a price. This footage right here shows the summoning of the true sun god as it takes over a sun temple. The main thing to point out here is the sheer number of monkeys that get sacrificed. It can be only a few, but sometimes dozens of monkeys get sacrificed to create a true sun god. Even more when you consider the sacrifices to the original sun temple. And unfortunately, it's the exact same situation with the creation of a Paragon. These ultra-powerful towers can instantly annihilate dozens of monkeys to increase their own power, ramping up their degree and altering their appearance even further. I managed to recover this grainy footage of a Paragon sacrifice from a helicopter flying overhead at the time, and it was terrifying to watch the monkeys get vaporized. Unfortunately, in all my research, I wasn't able to uncover exactly how the sacrifices were able to power up the Paragon in the first place. The best case scenario is that the monkeys just surrender their weapons and go home, with the weapons being used to enhance the Paragon's mechanical components. Unfortunately, the alternative is that they get obliterated, and their life force charges the Paragon somehow. I desperately wanted to believe the first option, but considering Paragons like the Wizard have nothing mechanical to upgrade, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an actual sacrifice. The whole thing is really messed up if you think about it. Monkeys are getting sacrificed so the Paragon can get more bling and a bit more damage, so is it really worth it? I definitely know that if I was a boomerang monkey, I wouldn't want to get vaporized into a few blue orbs for more bling on a Paragon. But I'm getting off track here. I need to get to the point before Ninja Kiwi discovers my location. Now, I previously mentioned Project Apollo, and I know you're wondering what I'm talking about. Let me explain. Project Apollo is a classified file formerly kept in a secret military base that talks about the true Sun God's master plan, and it also mentions the ways that lesser monkeys are enslaved and destroyed to support the cause. There were also blueprints of Bloons, which I found strange, but more on that later. Anyway, Ultra Jason reported on some of the information from the file, but I doubt he saw all of it. But clearly what he saw was enough to doom him, because the final addition to the file mentions him by name, stating that the traitor Jason has exposed us, and he shall be dealt with in the next step. I shudder to think what they did to him, but his disappearance speaks for itself. Looking through the file, I saw the true cruelty of the system. The monkeys were kept in line by forcing them to operate inside cramped tack shooters, and the ones that didn't do that were either forced to work on the front lines or become banana farmers. In fact, the true Sun God's buffing and cheapening of the other monkeys was intentionally designed to remind them that obedience or sacrifices were the only options, and that they were nothing without him. It definitely isn't a coincidence that the towers are reduced to 3/5 of their original cost, but we don't talk about that specific number because reasons. For a while, I was confused as to why Ninja Kiwi so desperately wanted the true Sun God in control, and then I realized, if they can control the true Sun God, they can control everything. The final page of the Project Apollo file contained this remark: "The plan has fallen into place. The sacrifice of the strong, the enslavement of the weak, and control over the controller. However, the priestess is becoming problematic." Strangely enough, the file ended right there with no more detail, and that brought me back to where I started. I launched this investigation because an anonymous message mentioned Adora, and the Apollo file had led me right back to her. What I found out next will shock you. This is the most dangerous information yet. I am risking everything just by making this video, so please, make sure to use my creator code so I can get a plane ticket to a non-extradition country so Ninja Kiwi can't find me. Anyway, that's enough about my escape plan, let's get back to the point. For a long time, I was extremely confused about where Adora fit into the power system with the Paragons and the true Sun God. For a long time, I assumed she was the weakest out of all of them, due to not being able to pop as many Bloons and only being able to sacrifice one monkey at a time. But then I saw footage revealing her sacrificing a sun temple in the presence of the true Sun God, revealing that she's stronger than a temple, and maybe stronger than the TSG himself, otherwise he would have destroyed her for insubordination. But it's also in Adora's best interest to keep the solar deities alive, because when the true Sun God is summoned in her presence, she transforms into an ultra-powerful goddess, far stronger than before. However, the scary part comes when the right sacrifices are prepared, and Adora morphs into a dark goddess as the true Sun God reveals its true vengeful form as well. I was only able to find one recorded occurrence of this, but it was terrifying. From what I can tell, even though the VTSG seems like the terrifying one, Adora holds all the real power. Don't think I'm letting the Paragons escape being exposed, because they play a major role in this as well. I've noticed that Adora seems to be unable to destroy them, but I mean, she has no reason to. All of them support the counter Bloon effort, and one of the Paragons makes Adora way stronger. It's all a corrupt and twisted system, and I have to admit it was extremely well planned out, but it needs to be stopped. I'm sure those still watching will wonder why Ninja Kiwi doesn't mention any of this in their blog posts. Most of it is to maintain the illusion of control and appease the public by claiming that the sacrifices aren't harmful. But also, if they revealed that Adora had formed a coalition and manipulated her way into becoming a vengeful goddess, there would be panic everywhere. Besides, at this point, Ninja Kiwi has lost control. Project Apollo confirmed that they wanted to manipulate the true Sun God, but they weren't ready to handle Adora. Of course, Ninja Kiwi can't admit that they failed, so they lie, and they get Bloons YouTubers like H-Bomb to lie for them and spread their falsified blog posts. The Bloons YouTubers comply because they have to. They don't want to get silenced like Ultra Jason after all. The revealing of the truth made me question even more things. For example, why are the monkeys and Bloons at war in the first place? Seriously, why? It doesn't seem like Bloons and monkeys would be natural enemies, and the existence of the Bloon species is strange in and of itself. A race of aggressive Bloons and blimps? That doesn't make sense in any universe, including the Bloons one. My theory is that they were somehow genetically engineered to be alive and sentient, but the science is way too complex for me. At this point, I knew something was very off about the existence of the Bloons themselves and their mission. I knew that the major Bloons tubers would have nothing but propaganda, so I couldn't use their videos as data. Unfortunately, even Ultra Jason didn't have much to say about how the Bloons were created. He did have a multi-part series on the wars between Bloons and monkeys, but he mentioned nothing about the current dictatorship under Adora. Which makes sense, he was only allowed to push the limits a bit without running into trouble. After a long search for answers, I had no choice but to come to the worst conclusion about the history of the Bloon species itself. What if they were engineered for the sole purpose of giving the monkeys a common enemy. And that's when the final puzzle piece clicked into place. If the Bloons were natural enemies, the monkeys wouldn't have detailed blueprints of them. I'm not sure how exactly the two sides were tricked into fighting, but it's been going on for so long that it has been accepted as normal. Otherwise, there would be way more resistance to the sacrifices if the monkeys knew the war was manufactured. But since they think it's for a good cause, they willingly let Adora sacrifice them to increase her own strength, and that's not acceptable. I don't think I have much time left before Ninja Kiwi finds me, and my voice is disappearing anyway, but for those still watching, I'll leave you with this. The first Bloons game is a glimpse into the past, but unless Adora is stopped, it may also be the future. The power that she's gaining may someday be too much to contain, and she will vaporize almost everything. All it will survive is a few monkeys and Bloons, and they will continue to fight each other anyway. They might not know why they fight, but they will fight. And honestly, that's just sad. So now you know the dark truth of the Bloons universe, a seemingly peaceful existence that is secretly a dystopian one, ruled by a bloodthirsty sun goddess, all overseen by a company that is watching it unfold and is willing to silence anyone who exposes it. Luckily, I have a plan to fix this situation. Unfortunately, I need funds to do so, so it will only work if you subscribe and use my creator.
This is the Ninja Kiwi Ministry of Truth. Disregard this propaganda immediately. Shadow is a rebel and will be executed as a rebel. There is no uprising other than the Bloons. We must stay focused. Do not fall for the YouTubers' lies. Wait, what do you mean Adora just sacrificed our base?
Well guys, looks like I'm back on YouTube. It's good to be back. I was gone for way too long and I'll be the first to admit it. So in case you guys didn't figure it out, this video was meant to be a joke. I originally intended to post it on April Fool's Day as some fan-made lore, but then college decided to have a fun time kicking my ass and I wasn't able to finish it on time. Anyway, I should be posting more regularly from now on, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I'll see you in the next video.